The Chernobyl disaster of 1986 was a crucial nuclear accident that caused extensive health and environmental problems, showing the dangers of poor safety measurements and lack of preparation. Take a second or two to imagine what life would be like if you had to wake up and leave your home, your country, and your future behind for the rest of your life to rot away in radioactive nuclear waste. This disaster of Chernobyl could have been way worse than it was, releasing 200 to 400 times more radiation than it originally did. This event could have wiped out half of Europe and had dilapidated environment for 500,000 years. 35 years after the matter, Chernobyl will be habitable again in 20,000 more years. The Chernobyl disaster serves as a powerful reminder of the catastrophic consequences of human faults and the importance of strict safety protocols in preventing environmental and health tragedies. First, I'd like to give everyone a little bit of a background on what exactly this disaster is. Next, I want to get into how the accident changed nuclear safety research, and to follow that up, we can talk about how we can prevent something like this from happening again. Now that we have a sense of direction for this discussion, let's get a better understanding of what happened on April 26, 1986. The Chernobyl disaster of 1986 was the outcome of a flawed reactor design that was operated by inefficiently trained personnel. During the routine procedure, it was decided to seize the opportunity and run a series of tests on the unit's turbines. Several employees were eager to learn what went on in the control room. Judith Condon states in her book, Chernobyl and Other Nuclear Accidents, that because of the circumstances, running the test could make it appear that something was wrong. So they shut off the automatic emergency system. Shift foreman Alexander Akimov and engineer Leonid Tuptanov had the responsibility of keeping an eye on the reactor. Akimov and Tuptanov realized that the power of the reactor sunk way too low for the test to go ahead after they already got the okay from their boss. They tried to shut down their test but their supervisor, Anatoly Dyatlov, grew impatient and insisted that they continue anyways. An enormous surge of power caused water flow in the reactor core to increase. This put pressure on the pumps and caused vibrations in the pipes. Reactor 4 soon exploded and caught on fire. Many civilians had drastic health conditions after the incident. People got thyroid cancer, DNA damage, and tumors in younger children. Individuals also became socially awkward afterwards. Overall, Chernobyl was this huge nuclear reactor explosion that caused many people to be at fault. I guess you could say that they messed with the bull and they got the horns. After the explosion, radioactivity was all over the country, forcing the people to evacuate. According to David Trimble in his article, How Chernobyl Jump-Started the Global Nuclear Safety Regime, this disaster affected nuclear safety by triggering a global review of safety standards, leading to increased internal cooperation, a stronger emphasis on human factors and safety protocols, and a renewed focus on managing severe accidents. After Chernobyl, countries worldwide revised and significantly improved their nuclear safety regulations. Plans started to include stricter design criteria for their reactors and more robust emergency response plans. The accident also stirred up research in radiology to get a better understanding on the environmental impacts on the releasing of radioactivity and to inform remediation efforts. It shouldn't have, but it took one gigantic accident to make people realize how poorly they have been prepared for an in case of emergency protocol. If this were to happen again, people would be way more prepared for the situation. But this is something we definitely do not want to happen again. So what can we do to prevent another accident from occurring? With new rules of conduct and agreements, there's a greater chance at preventing more nuclear meltdowns and accidents. J.R. Egan explains in Nuclear Energy Law after Chernobyl that there's not really a whole lot that citizens can do. However, there is quite a bit that the plants can do. There is no need for expensive emergency cooling systems because they would spiral cost overruns, and there would be no nuclear waste problem, military complications, or quality control problems. The only thing we can really do is leave it up to the plant operators. After more experience, training, and better organization strategies, we can trust that things will run smoothly and accordingly from here on out. Let me wrap it up with a few final thoughts on the matter. I explained to you what Chernobyl was and how traumatic it was for the townsfolk. I then let you know how the explosion of the Chernobyl reactor caused countless to look into and change how they operate. And I gave short and sweet examples on how preventing another explosion is possible. Maybe next time you watch The Simpsons or think about Hiroshima, you'll remember Chernobyl, and how the nuclear energy can be very dangerous if not taken care of under serious authority. If you're in the mood to do a deep dive on historical events, I recommend Chernobyl. There are many books and documentaries that you can read or watch that give interesting and entertaining information.